Have you ever wondered how Kobe Bryant had so much willpower? Well, the answer may be a bit more surprising than you think. And to figure this out, let's go to the 1990s. Okay, so the thing we have to understand about willpower, so I had to step over a wire to get here, is that it functions like a reservoir. Each time you dip into it on one task, you have a little less of that willpower for the next task. And this process of continually using your willpower is known as ego depletion. Everyday example of this could be you're on a diet, but then dessert comes after a stressful day of making all these decisions and exerting yourself. It feels irresistible compared to if you just had a relaxing day and someone presented you that same dessert. Or all day you plan to go to the gym, then 5 o'clock comes around, exert yourself doing all these tasks that day, and you feel like you have no willpower to get there. So now that we defined our terms, let's look at Roy Baumeister, psychologist who ran an experiment with college students back in the mid-1990s, and he was testing their willpower. And the thing about willpower too is even future acts that you don't have to do anything now in the moment can deplete your current willpower. Example of this is a friend asks you to do a favor a week from now. That in itself can deplete your current willpower. It's kind of crazy. It's just the thought of it can lead to ego depletion. So Baumeister had 4 groups of students. Group 1, in the choice condition here, they voluntarily agreed to give a speech at a future date on position they agreed with, such as keeping tuition as it is, keeping tuition the same. Then there was group 2, another choice condition. They were asked and voluntarily agreed to giving a speech at a future date on a position they disagreed with, such as raising tuition. Then there was a control group. They were not asked to give a speech. What all 3 groups did, though, was they spent time solving a tough puzzle. Both choice groups performed worse than the control group who just came in to solve the puzzle. They had a weaker performance. But here's the twist. Here's the interesting part. I said 4 groups. The 4th group did not voluntarily agree to give a speech. They were told at a future date, you're giving a speech, and the topic, the position you're going to disagree with, such as raising tuition. The no choice group, the low choice group as they call it, actually had a stronger performance than the choice group, a stronger performance compared and was similar to the control group, the group that just came in and did the experiment. So once more, both the no choice group and the control group had a better performance than the choice group. And that may make sense why the control group had a better performance because they came in and they just did the task, they just did the puzzle. That doesn't really make sense as to why the no choice group did better than the choice group. Unless you remember what I said earlier regarding how even the act of thinking, oh, I have to do something in the future can take from willpower. But the no choice group had to do the same thing. But think of it this way. They weren't being asked. It wasn't a deliberate choice. They were just being told, you're going to do this. There was no choice in the matter. And this is why it's important. Because let's look at Kobe. So, Kobe. Okay. So one of Kobe's famous podcast clips is him saying, I do not negotiate with myself. I do not negotiate with myself. And think of Kobe's routine. Getting up at 4 a.m. all the time, shooting anywhere from 800 to 1,000 shots a day. How do you have so much willpower to do this? And the thing is, what if he didn't use his willpower? What if he wasn't draining his reservoir? Like the students with no choice, Kobe wasn't tapping into his reservoir. He didn't give himself a choice. He didn't negotiate with himself. And how he can apply this to you in your life is when you go back and forth, do I exert myself today? Do I go to the gym today? Do I do this? Do I do that? You're tapping into that reservoir mentally. It's that mental exertion of, oh, well, I guess I have to do this. But if you look at it as, hey, I'm going to do this. This is what I'm doing. And it becomes habitual execution, just like brushing your teeth or going to work. Then you're not tapping into that reservoir the same way as someone who's thinking about, oh, do I have to go to the gym? Should I go to the gym? Do I do this favor for my friend? Resist this dessert, etc. This can go from asking yourself daily, should I work out today? Should I not work out today? No, I train Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's when I train. Instead of going, oh, do I want this dessert? Go, I only have dessert on the weekends. So it's not like Kobe had endless amounts of willpower. He just gave himself no choice in the matter. He didn't negotiate with himself. He didn't tap into that reservoir as much as, say, the average person or the average NBA player. When it comes to self-discipline is about doing the things you say you want to do and refraining from doing the things you say you want to avoid. And willpower is most certainly a part of that. But if you can refrain from always having to tap into that reservoir, then you're setting yourself up for success. So self-discipline isn't about draining the reservoir. It's about protecting it, because willpower is most certainly important. You should have it. You should have a good amount of it. But constantly taking from it and drawing from it is not a sustainable approach, as the research and literature documents. If you got something from this video, all I ask is that you throw a like or share it with a friend. I hope this helps you achieve more. And as always, I'll be rooting for you.